Just edit that out.
Yeah.
I'm serious this time. They don't edit out nothing. The audience is live today, girl. You know what else is live? That dress you got on.
No, that's not the right one.
Is that like that? I think it's like, you know?
Welcome to another episode of Diva Court.
Before you start, I will call you a cougar, but your husband's older than you.
The devil is a lie, and so is my co-host. I'm your host, Marsha Mignot, and with me is my co-diva,
Just Dana.
Smith.
Period.
Government
Smith.
name for her. Now, we're not responsible for the things that we say.
Or we don't believe in half of the things we say.
And we don't own the rights to anything we say.
Or liable about your feelings. So get out of them, build a bridge, and get over it, okay?
This is for edutainment purposes only. We have a sponsor.
Hey,
Hey
sponsor.
Curl.
Hey
Curl. That's our sponsor. Hey Curl. Isn't that cute?
It is
That's a
so
name.
cute.
Hey Curl. And if you need to find the products, if you love how we look and you want to wear your natural hair too, and you're proud of your blackness, and you don't have to look Caucasian-y.
What?
You
Is that a
need
seasoning?
to go to Caucasian-y. You don't want to look Caucasian-y. You want to be blessed and be happy about how God created you. To change how you really naturally look, isn't that an insult to God?
That's white supremacy.
That saying, I don't like how he made me. Aren't you fearfully and wonderfully made
Yes,
in the gospel?
I believe so.
So why are you changing how he made
The Bible says.
Okay, Pastor. Hey Curl .shop. Don't forget, go to heycurl.shop and get our sponsor. You too can look this glamorous.
Yes.
Naturally.
And if you want to be a sponsor, make sure you send us a little message to our comments below, or you can hit us up on,
Legal Zone.
yes.
YouTube channel at Legal Zone. All right, somber.
Yeah.
George Floyd's anniversary, May 25th. Anniversary of his death.
And ain't nothing changed.
Well, there's a lot changed. We're still killing people.
Why do we be laughing to this? It's not funny.
It is not funny.
But,
this
you
is
know,
supposed to be somber.
It is. This is us. This is somber. But
Yeah.
you know what? You laugh to prevent from crime.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Yes.
Can I get an amen?
Can I get a boom shakalaka laka?
No, you can't get
That
that.
is, who used to say that all the time?
I have no clue, but we're
they
not
used to
saying
be
it.
on the radio like, can I get a boom shakalaka laka?
That station is why it's gone off the air. Okay? Anybody boom shakalaka is not doing it anymore.
Remember where that came from? It might be a Detroit thing. You wouldn't.
But you know what? I'm proud of the George Floyd family.
Yeah.
I am proud of them. They've turned their grief into triumph. They are trying to pass legislation. They're trying to seek police reform. They're doing everything they humanly can. And I'm sure they are thrusted into a role they had never anticipated having to be in.
Yeah.
But I'm glad the way they handled it. I'm proud of them. And our condolences to your entire family. If anybody out there from the Floyd family is listening or watching this, just remember that Diva Court loves you.
We do.
And we support you. And, you know, big ups to what you guys are doing. And we hope that you actually are able to get the change that is necessary, because it is clear from the Andrew Brown and the Ronald Green situations that we need some change. Ronald
Right.
Green. Did you hear about him?
Before we even move on to Ronald Green, let's have a message to the Biden administration, because everybody is getting bills. We got trans bills, we have Asian bills, but it's a whole year and we still don't have anything.
Where did you get a year from the Bidens? That COVID got you that Kofi feed?
I'm saying it's a whole year as far as the anniversary.
Right, but he has not been president.
How long was he president when they started shooting up the Asian community in Atlanta? How long?
Well,
was he
he'd
president?
already been president. That's why
Right.
he did something about it.
Right. So he was already right. But how long did that take?
But you have to remember, when Floyd happened, it happened under whose administration?
No, I understand that, but we
No,
living in
don't
the
skip
future.
past that. Wait a minute,
we-
wait a minute. You're not going to just
But
speed past that.
But what I'm saying is I don't expect that from Trump. But Biden and Vice President Harris, I expect them to be on this higher plateau because that's what you were selling.
Et tu, Brutus? I'm going to use a little Shakespeare on her
Not the
today.
Shakespeare.
Are you holding Trump to a lesser standard like the rest of this country? That you don't expect anything from him as president for the United States, not the divided states, not some states, not the red states, but the United States. He doesn't get a pass. He said he wanted the job, and the job says you represent
Well,
me.
the job is over.
too.
The job is over.
Of course, we had to fire the man.
Right.
You're
He
fired
gone. But
because you
who-
can't get the job
But who's in
done.
office right now?
The man is only in office since when? January 20th?
How
Is
long,
it January?
How long
January.
ago what did the Asian shooting happen?
February.
It happened in
March,
February?
April, May.
When did the Asian shooting
4
happen?
months.
When did the Asian
Even
shooting
a
happen?
baby still needs help from its mother at
That-
4 months.
And this is why I call him the spin doctor. When did the Asian shooting happen? That just happened like a month or two
but
ago.
if Congress is willing, House and Senate, to put through a bill, get it to the president's desk, the president will sign it.
This is why Black lives don't matter, because we had an Emmett Till bill. Do you know how long ago Emmett Till was? I
That's quite some time.
It was a long time ago. It's the same bill. It's just a different person. It's getting passed down and passed down and passed down and passed down. And we're Black and we always vote Democrat, but we still have nothing to show for it. Everybody has a bill. The transgenders have the bill. All this stuff is happening on
But
day
here's
one.
the thing. Here's the thing.
And violence has been happening since he was in office with Barack Obama.
You
so my
have to
problems-
remember that even as vice president, he cannot sign a law into.
What about an executive order? I mean, Trump writing executive orders left and right. What about an executive order until they come up with a law?
So here's what the supporters of Biden is saying he should do. Do something on a federal level. Get something done on a federal level that is going to affect the state by the purse strings. Okay? So in law, what they say is when you want to control the states, you control them with the purse string.
Right.
The money, federal funding.
Right.
Okay, if you don't put something in place, we're going to take away your federal funding. Or if you continue to have law enforcement gun down citizens of color, we're going to start federally prosecuting them. We're going to change the federal laws, and that's what we're going to do. And even if the state doesn't want to prosecute these officers, we're going to prosecute them on the federal level. Now that I'm supportive of. I think that's what's coming because I mean, I'm going to be patient. Here's why I say
everybody,
that.
you know, let me just say this. Trump may have been an asshole, but when
May?
Trump
May?
didn't want
Did she say
the
May?
Muslims in America, he just said, no Muslims in America. Boom.
And what did
And
the court
take
say?
me to court. I
And what
get
the court
that.
said?
I get it. I get
They
it.
shut it right
It
down.
wasn't right. It was wrong. But guess what? He said, take me to court.
And
Take
they
me
did,
to court.
and they shut
so
him down.
Biden, take you to court. Let them take you to court. Like, write something. I'm so annoyed because we have death after death after death after death. Transgenders get a bill.
It's a lot. It's a
and
lot. But
who
here's
else
the
got a
thing.
bill?
Here's the thing, though.
The Asians got a bill, and we still like.
Here's the thing. The problem you have is that when you're talking about getting legislation passed,
Executive
it
order.
is a lot more difficult. Well, he really wants it to be law. He really knows that the majority of this country really wants something done. The problem is a portion of this country where the minority is trying to control the majority. Look at Florida. What do they want to do? They want to pass laws that affect social media, right? Look at states like Texas. They want to do what? They want to pass law to say you can't mandate a mask in public in any government property.
But guess what?
Are you serious?
They're doing something. And what is Biden doing? Not a damn thing. My thing is that, yes, it's ridiculous that Texas is passing this law. And yes, it's ridiculous that Florida is passing this law. But guess what? They got the balls enough to do something. And that's why I'm mad. I'm mad because all we get is lip service.
But you have to understand, though.
I don't want to understand.
You have to understand. You know, there's
understand.
emotional and then there's rational. Come to the rational side. Let's talk rationally. Rationally. We have to start getting our people to the polls. We did it in Georgia. So we are living proof in the state of Georgia that it can happen. Thank you, Stacey Abrams. You don't get revenge. What you get? What do you get? What did Stacey?
I'm pissed.
No, look at what Stacey did. Look at what Stacey did. Stacey said, "I'm going to show you, right? I don't get mad, I get even. Okay? I don't get bitter, I get better." She got better. She said, "I will register." You want to take people off the polls? You want to take people off the registry, the voter registry? How many did you take off? Because I will double it. And she what?
She won Georgia. She won Georgia. And guess what? People of Georgia who are Democrats, who are black, they still ain't did nothing for you. You did something for them. You got Biden and Kamala and Harris in office. But guess what? You still don't have a bill to protect your sons, to protect your daughters, to protect your fathers, to protect your mothers. We have nothing, but we got the chance to vote for you. Congratulations.
Okay, let me do the song that you want to hear.
Go ahead.
I was born by the river. Change is gonna come.
Is it?
Yes, it is. Change is coming. Change is coming. I know it's slow. I know it's slow and I know it's frustrating, but I promise you it actually is coming. For the state of Georgia to have been able, no matter all the fights, no matter all the foolishness, no matter all the fake news, no matter everything they did, they were in power. They controlled the White House, they controlled the Senate, they controlled the House. They had control of everything. And for Georgia, and look how close other states came, like North Carolina. They went quiet, North Carolina. I know y'all went silent for a little bit, trying to see if you should count these votes and not let Georgia take the hit and get flipped. But think about that. Think about what monumental change that was as it pertains to the Georgia being a blue state.
I agree with you.
They're so angry they changed laws, and you agree with them on the laws they changed. Don't give Granny no water in that line because you go to jail for a misdemeanor. Remember that?
I believe that the
people.
So
you don't care. You just want change.
I believe that the
even
people,
if it's not for the good?
I believe that the people have changed. I don't believe that the politicians in office have changed. They need something to keep black people in the Democratic Party as we got this vote. So all of this race relations, when they can do something, because again, I'm gonna go back to two things. The Asian bill and the transgendered bill happened within 100 days. They can do something.
Biden is going to have to go federal, and what he's gonna have to do is say, hey, we're gonna change the federal rules and we're gonna prosecute your cops. And if he does that, then he doesn't even have to worry about what the state is saying they're going to do and what they're not going to do, because your cop is going to federal prison.
Can we get to that?
Big time. We can sip, gulp, and drink to that.
How long you think it's going to take? I don't think it's going to happen.
How long? Not long. Y'all remember that?
So, all right, let's put a wager out. A friendly wager, like a gentleman's
I
bet.
say before the end of 2021. How about
before
that?
the end of 2021,
yes.
You believe that there's going to be what?
Some type of federal policing legislation.
Okay.
Something on the federal level. I don't know what he's going to do, but something on the federal level is going to say, if you don't do it, we're going to do it. And we'll do it federally. Since we can't get Congress to act, we're going to go around them.
Okay. December 31st, 2021.
Correct.
I believe nothing is going to happen.
So you say no federal rulings, nothing.
Yes.
Just like today. No bill, nothing signed, nothing in the pipelines, nothing.
No, I'm not talking about, it's the Emmett Till been in pipeline since Emmett Till was.
So you said nothing but pipeline.
Exactly. All right, so here's the bet. If I win, I can style your hair any way I want.
No.
And you have to film it on the Diva Court.
No, ma'am.
Come on.
No, ma'am.
Come on. Listen, I can't be doing no money bet
Put your
with
money.
you wanna do money.
Put your money where your mouth
All
is.
right. Let's do $10.
How about 1,000?
1,000, girl. $1,000.
Real money.
All right, your $1,000
to your 10.
To my 10.
No, ma'am. That's not happening.
1,000. Okay. Have to save up.
All right, I'll reduce it. $100.
$100. All right, we can do 100. So my 100 to your 1,000.
No. I think not.
But you're so strong on this.
Your 100 to my
And you don't
100.
need $1,000.
What kind of disingenuous bet is this?
It's not, I'm keeping it 100. I'm telling you.
Well, let's keep it $100. Since you're keeping it 100.
Listen. But you believe
why
in
you
it.
trying to make it 1,000 if you're keeping it 100?
All right. All right, we'll do $100.
100 each. And my Diva Court audience is going to see the bet get paid.
I will pay
raw cash, and we're going to film it so you can see it.
What month is this?
Uh-oh, she's trying to save the coins. She's trying to save the coins. Look, you are not allowed to strip between now and December 31st.
I am a Christian woman.
You're not allowed
be on the
to
pole.
strip on any day other than Sunday.
I'm out of college. I don't have to strip. I'm out of college.
No Monday through Saturday stripping. No, ma'am. You cannot do anything nefarious to gain my $100. It must be lawful.
It must be lawful. So do you take? I do take Cash App, Venmo.
No,
I want
you
cash.
bring cash in here. I'm not for the apps. Okay, I'm for the greenbacks. I want to see the face of the president, the dead presidents. That is.
Make it rain.
Make it rain. Bring the hundreds in here. I don't care if they're in dollar bills. No, because if they're in dollar bills, that means you strip to get them.
Why I gotta be stripping?
I want a whole crisp $100 bill. That's what I want. 250s or 100.
Okay, we can
there
do
you go.
it.
I'll take 20s. I'll take 20s. I'll take 20s.
You're about to lose your money.
You know why I take 20s?
You're about to lose your money.
You know why I'm going to take 20s?
Because you are betting.
You know why I would take 20s?
For nothing.
Because no man is going to a club and putting a 20 on her.
Nah, they ain't.
They want to make it rain.
Like it, then you should have
make
put
it
a
rain
20 on it.
with dollars. That's what you're going to get. So
who is stripping? I am, for the record, I don't know where she getting this
Facts
stripping
not in evidence.
I don't know where she getting this stripping from.
Facts not in evidence.
Can I get a allegedly?
Allegedly. She gets an allegedly. Legally allegedly. All right. So Ronald Green. We're going to get back to Ronald Green. We can't pass Ronald Green. Ronald Green's parents were told, I'm sorry, your son died in an auto accident.
Who told him that?
The police.
Would that be a false police report?
Facts.
That illegal.
Probably is in evidence.
That's illegal. A false police report because they're the police who reported for false police.
It sounds like vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, because according to the report, one of the officers died in a one-car accident.
Did he go straight to hell?
I don't know if he collect $200 if he passed go.
Did he pass go? Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
I have no clue how that
go
went
straight
down.
to hell.
But for the Green family to have been told your son passed away in an auto accident, for the medical examiner, you see how many people have to participate in that fraudulent conduct, and you say it's not systemic? Who out there could say it's not systemic when you can get a sergeant that shows up to the scene and doesn't even respond to the fact that the suspect is crying, please, please, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. No compassion, no empathy. One officer was kicking him with his foot while he was begging in that video.
I heard it.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. And they said, we was going to sit him up, but I ain't want him spitting out blood.
Stay on your stomach. Is that not the position that they say you're not supposed to be in?
That's George Floyd
the
all
prone,
over again.
The prone position. The George Floyd prone
all
position.
over again.
You left that man in a prone position. He's spitting up blood, and you saw that.
Well,
you didn't render any aid, and then you tell his family, hey, he died in a car accident. In the speed chase, we were chasing him.
The cover-up.
Federal prison.
I wonder, did the feds interview the police officers?
I hope they did.
Because if they said that to the police, I mean,
if you said that to the feds,
that's an automatic.
Yeah, you can't lie to the feds. And what we need to stop doing, people, is stop allowing law enforcement to lie. That's the first.
We need to allow the feds to investigate all police activity when it comes to like murder or alleged murder or
That's a
accidental
lot of work.
death. But I mean, terrorism is over because COVID took its place.
What you say? That
you ain't heard about no terrorism.
That sheet they were wearing
America.
didn't help. It didn't help.
Terrorism.
I thought they invented face covering.
Look, how come
they didn't invent face covering?
How come all the terrorism stopped when COVID happened? You ain't hear nothing about terrorism.
They said I can't risk it. Why would I have to do it if it's happening automatically?
Man.
No, they thought, why didn't we think of that?
Listen, if the if the FBI investigates all police
shootings
where
there's a homicide,
where
somebody died,
when someone dies,
that might stop it.
Because if you lie to the feds on anything, you're done.
Well, I think the problem you have too, if you want better policing, is that you actually have to stop. Do you know it's not legal in other countries for law enforcement to lie to you to get you to confess to a crime? They can't do things like take you in an interrogation room and say, hey, we already know everything. You might as well tell us, which is a lie.
I think they should be able to lie to criminals. If you didn't do it, you just say,
no, evidently you don't know about the pressures of psychological.
I have been in the clink, and when they came in there trying to tell me, just won't.
No.
Because I wasn't in there that long.
No, you wasn't in there that long. You didn't go in and in long enough.
I went.
If they have you without food, without interaction with family members or friends, I mean, they're doing it.
That sounds like a vacation for me.
No, they're doing it even.
Your girl can fast. And to be able to just take a nap, I'll be asleep.
This is tantamount to waterboarding, ma'am. You will not be sleeping, okay? In fact, if they see you sleeping, they're going to come in there. They're going to watch you on that little video, and then they're going to record you sitting there all these hours just waiting until they soften you up, and then they come in there, and then you're so tired. Because let me tell you that. You know why false confessions can happen if you hold people long enough? And if you do it to people who also have mental disabilities, that's unfair. And there's no line. The officer doesn't have to find out if you have a mental illness or if you're on the spectrum for autism or if you have Asperger's. They don't have to know any of that. They get to lie to you. And now you are somebody with mental history and you're doing what they say and you're admitting to crimes, and the system says, yeah, he must have done it, go forward anyway, and treat you just like a regular person. I have a problem with that. I have a serious problem with that. But the big issue is that law enforcement has to stop lying. Because where do you draw the line with the lie? I can lie to the suspect, but I'm not supposed to lie to the sergeant. I'm not supposed to lie on this police report.
Right, that's true.
You can't train them to lie and then
Now,
ask them, cut the lie off right here. This is the lie line.
If you lie,
you have a lie line. You can stop lying right here. They're not going to stop lying. They're going to lie on the stand.
They lying to their wives.
They lie all the time.
They lying.
And they can get away with it. We've got to stop the lying. It doesn't make sense.
The thing is that the reason why the police still get away with stuff is because our justice system allowed them to get away with it.
Well, there's two.
That's true.
There's two.
There's one from them and one for you.
Well, Andrew Brown Jr., no charges on law enforcement. No charges. Did you see the video where he was backing out the house when they were coming in? Did you see the video of how they were riding in like cowboys?
Cowboys or
cowboys and Indians?
Cowboys and Indians.
Remember, that wasn't good for the Indians
I don't think
either.
you can say Indians anymore.
What do you say?
Native Americans.
Cowboys and Native American? Did you see that?
Cowboy,
didn't they look like they were on the hunt?
What they call it? Slave finders.
Slave catcher.
The slave catcher.
They were on the back of that truck.
Come on, boys. Hop on in this truck. We got to go get us a nigga.
They did, though.
That's what
they did. And the DA says what? No charges.
Let's just give them a little training. How do you train somebody to not shoot up a car that's going in the opposite direction of you? How do you train somebody to not do that?
Lock them up.
No, they're going back to training.
Right.
So do they get a second chance?
They're not going to be fired.
No, they're not going to be fired.
So they'll be back out there next week. But you know what? The moral of the story to that jurisdiction is, and it's North Carolina, is remember $27 million check that was cut to George Floyd's family. Put your coins together. Start stripping. Put your sergeant to work. Use those belts because you might need them. Putting these guys back to work after 1 hour worth of training. How long is the training going to be? How do you train culture?
That's true. But it's taxpayers' money. So it's like, whatever. We'll just raise the taxes.
Don't you think it'll be a good idea to get them their own insurance? Make them have to get insurance?
Maybe take it out their pension?
Make them get bonded, like how you do for people who are...
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, you have to be bonded. Because remember, to be bonded, you have to have good credit. And we're going to look in your background, see how many complaints you have. Well, Chauvin could have never got bonded. 19 complaints, 18 complaints, 19 years.
And pending charges in the federal. Yeah. 2 pending charges now.
Federal.
Federal.
Oh. I was gonna say.
In the federal.
Is that police and federal? Police and federal.
Federal. In the federal. Listen.
We want you to be in federal custody.
Listen. It's not kind to talk about someone's speech impediment. It's not a good thing. Listen, ladies and gentlemen.
She is.
Please don't be like Marsha and talk about someone's speech impediment.
She does not.
It's not
have a speech
impediment. It's not a good thing.
She does not have a speech pediment.
It's not nice to call people strippers and talk about their speech
does
impediment.
not have a speech impediment or a speech pediment.
See, there you go
or
again.
a federal. Okay, so somebody was riding. Okay, who can do this? Who can do this?
Right.
All right.
I'm listening.
Who can call the law enforcement and say, "Hey, I can't stand y'all, you MFs, and I'm on my way down there with my car, and I'm gonna roll right through the station and kill all of you,
And then do it.
and then do it." Who can do that?
Let me think.
Mm,
Can only be a white man.
Timothy Call is what we're referring to. Timothy says, I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to contact law enforcement department and I'm going to tell them that I don't like them and I'm coming down there to kill them. And then he does just that. He gets in his car and he drives himself down to the police station and runs into the building. Mm-hmm. And do you know how you knew Timothy was Caucasian? White? You couldn't find a photo of Timothy anywhere when you were looking for the story.
What about the audacity to just run up into the police station with the car? That's how I knew.
Privilege, that is. Right?
Listen.
Let me ask you a question. Why was he not gunned down? Think about that. That's a police station with guns blazing in it. The car comes in. You look and see that the person drove in there. Wouldn't you? And you had already gotten a call that he was on the way.
Right, right.
Why didn't it open fire?
Because
where's the open fire?
I'm going to tell you why.
You opened fire in North Carolina on a guy that was trying to escape, and this guy wasn't trying to escape. He was trying to attack the police department.
I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me why he wasn't gunned down.
So you know back on January 6th, when those Capitol Police, you know
is
what I'm
that the
saying?
insurrection?
At the insurrection, when those Capitol
Or
Police
is it the imperfection?
letting them into the
I'm sorry, the
Capitol
White
building.
House tour. You mean
Into
the White House
Capitol-
tour?
Yes, into the Capitol building. So they got fired, and then they went down to Baltimore and got hired there. So they just allowed him to drive his car into the police station.
Well, that was
same police
that was a
officers.
January 6th White House tour of the Capitol, according to one of the, and he's from Georgia too. One of the congressmen from Georgia said that that was a White House tour. If you didn't know better, that would just be a White House tour. You have people that are screaming. 5 people died. What do you mean a tour? What tour have you ever been on where 5 people died? Even a morgue doesn't have people getting trampled like that. I mean, jeez, ridiculous.
Listen,
but
them the same police officers.
Timothy was not gunned down.
Yeah.
They were not in fear for their lives or their safety when Timothy used his car. Hey, it's not fun.
When it's about you.
People's speech impediment.
It's never funny when it's about you, huh?
Is that not what she just said? That goes back to her disclaimer at the beginning. She don't believe half of what she says.
I sure don't. That's facts in evidence.
Mr. Call was not gunned down by law enforcement. You see the 2 justice systems?
Listen, you know if he
Do
was
you think a black man could call the police department and say, I'm on my way?
I'm going to get you, sucker.
And he doesn't get gunned down?
No. But look, if he was in Florida, he probably wouldn't have been charged, because if there was enough people, like 2 or 3, he could have used riot as his
was
defense.
a riot. Okay, they were rioting. And
They were rioting.
Therefore, I decided to gun down. Oh my God!
They were rioting, so I was able to use my car to hit somebody.
You
and
can
not
justify
be charged.
all you want. That's improper. So look it up for yourself. Check out the story on
Must
Timothy.
feel good to be
But you know
white.
what? Privilege, huh? Privilege.
It's a good thing to be white.
Now the book, The Whiteness of Wealth.
Yes.
This is an Atlanta author. I'm so proud of her. Black female wrote a book about the whiteness.
Let's clap it up for
of
her.
wealth. Put it
Yes,
together.
girl. Get it.
Let's get started. She's written a book regarding the whiteness of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And she realized that she needed to write the book while she was doing her taxes and her parents' taxes.
Right.
She always made more money than her mom and dad combined.
Mm-hmm.
Yet she paid just a little tip more in taxes than they did.
Right.
And she started realizing that, whoa,
This doesn't
the
add
whiteness
up.
of wealth. So her position in the book is there's a lot of layers to this thing. Layer number one is if you have joint income, you are taxed higher if you're a husband and wife filing jointly than if you are a husband and wife with just one income.
I need to quit my job.
No, you need to get you a Caucasian man.
If it ain't white, it ain't right.
They're going to pay him enough money so you can be a stay-home mom. So other issues she had with that is that when you file the tax returns, that the problem you have with there is nothing you can do about it, that the tax laws are not inaccurate, that they are correct. And she wasn't doing anything wrong in her preparation of the taxes, but it's just how the tax laws worked. She also realized that the property is valued more in the white neighborhoods, so that if you were a black person and you wanted to have a property that was high in value, you needed to move into a neighborhood where you were almost the only black family. Now, she did say there was
Who wants to do
collateral.
that?
She said there was collateral damages from doing that because now your white counterparts are going to call the police on you more often.
You're probably 5 times more likely to die.
Yeah. Depending, some jurisdictions
Just made
is 10
that up.
times based on the research.
To get arrested.
To get arrested.
Yeah, 5 times for.
And very likely 19% is, I think it was the
In
last study
Minnesota.
from ABC. Yeah. So that is tough. So what would you choose? You want to choose higher property value in the white neighborhood, or are you going to choose lower property value in the black neighborhood?
I'm gonna go with lower property value
Why is that?
because, like, I want to just be myself. I don't want to be harassed by anyone. I already wake up as a black woman having black people thoughts. I know that sounds
What is
crazy. It's like,
Because I think I'm having human thoughts.
no,
Am I missing
I
something?
have black woman thoughts. Everything I do, it's a matter of me being a black woman. Like, I wake up and I think, oh, how am I gonna do my hair today? If I wear it in an afro, people might look at me funny.
If you put Hey Curl, it'll be beautiful.
That is true.
Our sponsor,
Hey curl,
Hey
that shop.
Curl.
Hey girl. But let's just say I didn't have hey curl. And I just wanted to wear my afro in its natural state. Then it's like getting side eye, getting side looks.
Are you going to get side-eyed from your own people?
Probably so too.
Do you think they'd be more judgmental?
I think so, because I think white supremacy is embedded in us, where we have to look a certain way. We have to act a certain way. I can't just be loud, and that's just naturally me. I can't
So
be
let
myself.
me ask you a question.
What?
Do your black thoughts include, should I wear house shoes and rollers to the grocery store?
I don't think that's a black thing. I just think that's ghetto or trailer.
Oh,
That's
okay.
trailer.
You've seen trailer people do that?
Yes.
I haven't seen any trailer people.
Oh, do you want me to pull up some Google pictures?
No, you don't have to pull up.
Where do you think wife beater came from? It was always this
On
white
cops.
man.
On
It's
cops.
a white man.
No,
and
anybody
a
on
white,
cops.
No. But this is where it came from. It was a white man in a white beater in a white tank top in a trailer
A
on
shirt.
cops.
It's called an A shirt.
They call it a who?
A
tank top. It's a tank top.
It's called an A shirt.
A shirt. Like a shirt.
Like the letter A in the
Oh,
alphabet.
is that what they call it for real?
Yes.
I thought it was a tank top.
It's an A shirt.
Okay, in a shirt with a little hole or two in it, who is beating on his wife.
He was in cops.
And he was in
would
cops,
show
and he was
up,
a
and
white
it was
guy.
a domestic call.
Right, it's a white guy.
But it was, black guys used
But
to be
it's-
on cops.
I
and-
understand that, but it
Oh, but
started
you
off
say
with
originated
it
with
would have originated with a
Okay.
white guy.
But I thought we
But
get
guess who
arrested
his
more than
wife
they do.
is? Guess who his wife is? She the one with the rollers and the furry slippers
And the house shoes.
and the house shoes, and then she has like the muumuu on, and she pregnant, barefoot and pregnant. Where do you think that came from?
Is that Alabama?
I don't know,
Okay.
but I digress.
Yeah, you did.
I say all that to say, just me being loud, or just wearing certain things, or should
I
I, wear
have
my
to behave a
African-
certain way?
I have to behave a certain way. Should I wear my African
Why
earrings?
is it not because you're just so educated and poised and classy? that you do it.
Who said that's
not
classy?
because you think
Who said
it's not black
Who said
or it doesn't make you black.
What I'm saying is, why can I just be myself, my natural self? I just think that it is a slave mentality to tell people to be seen and not heard. That is a concept that black mothers told their children, because when they went to serve Mr. Massa, they didn't want them to get any attention. They didn't want their girls to get any attention because they didn't want the master raping them. They didn't want their boys getting attention because they didn't want their boys to be beat. So it's be seen and not heard. You go in, you go out. Don't talk too loud. Don't say too much. Just look a certain way. Keep it quiet. You know, speak the masses language. Everything that has been taught is for us to preserve our lives. And now that we have more freedom, you know, now that we're out there, now it's ghetto, where it's like, no, don't take my voice.
So Ursula, we figured out a way how to silence you again.
Ursula,
so
don't take my voice.
We had to silence you again?
Yeah. Now it's, you're an angry black woman. No, I'm just loud and I enjoy being who I am.
So where'd you get your loudness from if your mother was telling you be seen and not heard?
Well, she was my mama when I was a child. She my mama now, but I'm just at a place.
She's no longer your mother now that you're grown.
And I'm not. And my mama really wasn't.
I hope your mother don't call me about you, her daughter
really
disowning her on Diva Court because she's an adult.
My mom wasn't really a be seen and not heard type of.
She
mom.
gave you your voice.
She gave me my voice. It was more so. Like my aunts would say stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Or stay in a child's place. All of those things, all that has to do with a slave mentality.
That is true. That is true.
You know,
I'm gonna have to
drink to that.
Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am.
You get a brownie point.
Brownie point. Because I'm black, I get a brownie point.
It's brown.
Why I had no
It's
white?
not a blackie point.
It's still ain't green.
It's a brownie. It's a brownie point.
But now it's considered ghetto to just be your natural self.
It is. And that's because as a culture, our people have subscribed to
that.
The hundreds of years of conditioning.
Right.
And the good news is in 2021, we are breaking out of it.
Break every chain.
If it wasn't.
Break every chain. You say I did that?
No, she did not do that.
I did.
In 2021, we can wear our hair like this.
We can. Hey,
normally we wouldn't even be comfortable with wearing our hair like this.
And you know what? When I saw
it's
you
liberating.
wearing your hair
it's
like
liberating,
that,
isn't it?
it's liberating. Oh my gosh, it's so empowering. But that's where we get our power.
This is how God
from.
made us.
That's where we get our power from.
So we have
Samson,
to be happy.
You know, that's why your son,
I do.
hair down to there.
He does have hair that's never been
Samson.
cut. He does have hair. My baby does have hair that's never been cut.
Yeah.
Because that's where his strength is.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be able to take it. But you know what? My dad, of my mom and my dad, my mom and my father, God rest their soul in peace. I've lost both my parents. But my dad more so than my mom, which is amazing. That's why I think he was a pioneer and he had to go early. He made sure I was never silenced. And people will say things like, oh my God, you're such a pit bull in the courtroom and you're not intimidated and da-da-da-da. And I'm not, because he raised me not to be intimidated. Because his philosophy was a coward dies a million deaths, but a brave man dies only once.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, this brave sister will get you.
That's what's up. And
I love it. I love the liberation. I love the
do.
fact that, our people are becoming more comfortable in who they are. And, it's disheartening to know that the whiteness of wealth has to be written. And it's being written in 2021.
Must be good to be white.
And,
it's a good feeling.
It is what it is. So the author is Dorothy A. Brown.
Yeah, check her out.
And check out that book, The Whiteness of Wealth by Dorothy A. Brown. And support a sister. She's telling you about the taxes, the discrepancies in your neighborhood, the value. In fact, I know of a case where a husband and a wife, it was a white male and a black female, they had their property appraised, and the black woman the photos of the family was up, and the appraiser came in and appraised the home lower than she thought it should have appraised. And she decided to do an experiment, which is I'm going to take all the mixed photos down. I'm going to take all my photos down, and only my husband will be home when the appraiser comes. And the property appraised for $100,000 more. And
That's
she was very sad. She was disheartened, but she exposed it, and she was saying how sad she was by the fact that, I think this was 2 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. It wasn't very long. And I've even seen a gay couple express the same issue recently. It was a black female and a white female that was saying that their property appraised low, and they absolutely believed that it was based on the fact that they were married to a black person. So you got to prove it, though.
You know what?
Remember, lawsuit requires
The
proof.
next time I hear someone say that systematic racism does not exist, instead of them giving their reasons for why it doesn't exist, because they always pick, well, Beyonce, like they always go for a Beyonce.
We let a few of y'all through.
Right. What is the definition? Do you even know what the definition is? Because if you don't know what we're talking about, let's not even have a conversation.
I'm glad you said that. Let's define it for those listeners and those
Okay.
people watching
Go for it.
that don't know what systemic racism is.
Let them know.
A daycare in the state of Georgia had minor babies. Didn't bother anybody, didn't offend anybody, can't offend anybody because you're in daycare. You're that young. You know nothing. And it was lunchtime and it was time to feed the children. And they decided to feed the white children at each table before they fed the black kids at each table. That is systemic racism.
So give them a direct definition that's not anecdotal, because what they'll say is, well, it only happened one time.
Okay,
so
let me give you something else.
Yeah.
When you get on the elevator with a black man, if you clutch your pearls or hold on to your pocketbook, that's systemic racism.
There you go.
You don't know him. You've never met him. And if you let a white male get on the elevator with you and you don't clutch your pearls and you don't feel intimidated and don't feel like you have to hold your pocketbook, that's systemic racism.
Right.
If you go to the grocery store in the black neighborhood and there is no fresh vegetables and fresh fruit, or whatever's there is already spoiled and
Right.
rotten and seem like something that should have been trashed, and you drive over to the white areas, Vinings if you're in Georgia or any other northern white areas in your state, and you find fresh, crisp, and people are coming out and saying, oh, no, don't buy that. We have a brand new case coming out, and the bakery smells the aroma of baked goods, and it's just blowing out and coming out to you. And you're like, I'll take those just coming out of the oven. That's systemic.
To add that, if you don't have a Whole Foods in your neighborhood, that's
If Starbucks doesn't think you drink coffee because you're black and you have to drive 20 miles to the closest Starbucks, that's systemic racism. If the gas prices in your neighborhood are higher than they are in the white neighborhood, that's systemic
How
racism.
about the insurance?
If your car insurance costs more because you're buying cars that people of color more likely to purchase, such as a Volvo, and a white female that I used to work with told me this. She said she was going to purchase a Volvo, and her insurance agent, a white male, told her not to. She loved the Volvo, and she couldn't purchase the Volvo because he told her the insurance on the Volvo was going to be higher because it's a car purchased by blacks.
Are you serious?
I kid you not.
I'm about to get a Jeep Wrangler. You know
And
the
she
whites
will
like
remain
that.
nameless, but I used to work with her, and she
Wow.
shared that with me. If you are joyriding in your car when you're a little boy and you stole it and you get arrested and they take you to juvie and they slap you on the wrist and tell your mama to take you home and behave yourself. And when the black boy steals the car, it's stealing. He takes a car that's not his and he steals it, and you want him gunned down because he's running from the police, that's systemic. If you go to court and you are in a predominantly white area, and you look around the courtroom on a criminal calendar and you see 100 black inmates and one white man who looked like he was lost, and that's how come they picked him up.
Who's on the jury?
No,
white
you
people.
haven't got to the
Oh,
jury
you
yet.
haven't got there
You haven't
yet.
got to the jury yet. You're just on a calendar call. And it's a predominantly white neighborhood, right? Cherokee County. And there's nothing but black defendants in that courtroom. That's systemic racism. If a judge says, I'm going to give him probation after he points a gun to his employer's face without, and I'm talking about real cases now, don't
Right.
play with me.
Right.
A gun to his employer's face, and the employer says, Billy, what are you doing? Could recognize him, knew his name, and he got probation, and a misdemeanor was told, go take your medicine. right? And the case was dismissed. And if you have a black defendant in the case for having a car which was illegally my client inspected an emission, right? Falsely did an emission inspection of a car that couldn't pass emission. And he did that, right? And he passed the emissions, and they were monitoring that emission station, and he was swooped up in the sting, and they wanted him to do 5 years in prison.
Wow.
On the same calendar. On the same calendar. Yes, Fulton County, you will not remain nameless. On the same calendar. That's systemic.
That's systemic.
It's systemic.
Racism.
You understand? So let's not play with each other, people.
Yeah.
If we're going to fix it, we have to acknowledge it.
If all the defendants are black, and the jury is all white.
That's systemic. Because that's not their peers.
Listen.
Let's stop.
I don't want to hear no liberals and no conservatives talking about all lives matter. Because when you say that, you just negate the essence.
The seriousness of getting something done. But you know what? You don't say that when people say that's anti-Semitic. You don't say all lives matter.
You don't.
I've never heard it.
You never will.
I have never heard it.
You never will.
I've never heard it.
You'll never hear that.
Oh,
also, they don't mess with the gays either. But guess what? All of these subgroups have what?
Money.
Yeah.
Well, where are we going to get ours from? Can we get reparation?
Not if Joe Biden's in office.
Give it
he
back.
Gonna say, yeah, we'll do a survey.
Speaking about
We're
surveys,
not even going to do an investigation.
Are you going to survey this Florida law that says if you won't let my kofifi on your social media, I'm going to fine you
like that
$200,000?
Listen, I think that they should allow for everybody to be on social media. I want everybody on there.
No. I say if Florida passes that kind of law, that they ban all Floridians from using social media. That's what I would do.
For Facebook.
I'm Facebook. It is my company. I determine, because remember, we talked about capitalism and how important capitalism is to this country. If I designed it, I should be able to run it any way I so desire. But when your people get booted off of it because we don't want to hear, and now your people don't have a bullhorn to prejudice other people and to have the January 6th tour repeated at the Capitol, you're upset. And now you want to pass laws in Florida that's going to say, if I ban your candidates that's running for office, that you're going to fine me as social media? You're going to fine me?
I think social media is the devil. But that's another
God.
story for another day.
Yes, that's a whole sermon that will not be preached in this episode of Diva Court.
But I say all that to say, listen, I want to hear what every fool has to say.
No, I need the fool to put the robe back on and get really quiet in that corner
Take the
of the
hoods
world.
off. Take the hoods off. I
Put
want
them back
to see
on.
you.
I don't want to see you.
You
I don't
don't
want to
wanna
hear
see
you.
them?
I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. Go back in your shell, please. Thank
But
you.
then they just do stuff in the dark.
No, but I need it in the dark because guess what? I thought people were intelligent and I didn't realize how easily influenced people are by buffoonery.
Listen, if you remember what we were just talking about with Green, how, he was just in a car accident. I'm pretty sure it was for social media that message got around. We need social media in Florida.
No. I didn't say we're not going to have social media.
I'm talking about we need it in Florida because Florida is
There's
racist.
a plan. Hold on now.
Well, go ahead.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you what the plan is.
Go ahead.
The plan is I would ban Floridians from it. They would be so upset that everybody else knows what's going on except them. They would not vote for that idiot again. And they would make sure they have legislators that repeals that law so that social media would be released. Because I would say to them, as soon as you vote that governor out or those Congress people out or those senators out, then I will let you have it back. So you want my product? It's no different from
Is
Walmart.
that legal?
Of course that's legal.
Like, no. I'm saying is, can they say as soon as you vote them out, you can have it back?
Absolutely.
Doesn't that
just
sound
like
like
how
bribery?
Walmart said. No,
Isn't
think
that
about
bribery?
it. If Walmart can say, let's Spinderella talk. If Walmart can say,
I'm glad you claiming it.
You cannot come back. You cannot come back to this Walmart property. You've been arrested for shoplifting, and you are now given a criminal trespass warning. Goodbye, don't come back. And Walmart changes his or her mind. Oh, we're having a big sale. I know we said you can't come back, but you can, so long as you don't bring your crooked friend with you.
But I'm talking about, but there's voting involved. So it sounds like bribery. Like there's laws against bribing people
for voting.
For votes.
For voting. Okay. I see your point. So here's how I would change it.
Go ahead, Spinderella.
I would say we are not going to allow social media in your state. Goodbye. Silence is golden, isn't it? I didn't say anything about your voter laws. I'm not trying to convince your people not to vote for you. If they don't get the memo, then they just won't be watching social media or using it. That's a good solution. That's what I say.
It probably wouldn't be bad to not have social media in
your state.
Yeah.
You would know nothing that's going on.
You wouldn't. You better watch that news.
These people can't stand 5 minutes without their cell phone.
They can't.
Everybody checks the phone about 100,000 times a day. But
they check on their phone more than they check on their kids.
But we want you to check on your phone and watch the next episode of Diva Court because we come out every Wednesday.
Yes, we do.
Subscribe.
And while you guys are subscribing,
find us on Spotify, though, before you subscribe. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and be sure to catch our videos on YouTube and subscribe.
And we'll drink to that.
We got to drink to that.